Welcome into Steelers Talk. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and it is draft weeks, folks. I cannot wait to give you guys share with you guys all the great NFL draft content we got coming to you, not only today, but also throughout the week here at Steelers Talk. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. But on today's show, we got a loaded show of news and rumors to break down with you guys. First, once again, we're going to talk about Brandon Aiyuk and whether or not a trade could be in the works for the Steelers to acquire the All-Pro wide receiver on draft night. Of course, that's Thursday night, just in case you weren't aware. Then we'll talk about the top draft target for the Pittsburgh Steelers, or reported top draft target, has been flagged by multiple NFL teams for injury concerns. We'll reveal who that is here coming up in just a little bit. Then also, Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin talked at their pre-draft press conference today, and they indicated that they might not be drafting a center. Could James Daniels be the answer for the Steelers at center heading into 2024? I'll react to that and give you my thoughts. Then also, ESPN has an interesting trade down idea for the Pittsburgh Steelers in round one, and they came out with a brand new 7-round mock draft that we'll react to right here on Steelers Talk. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already to kick things off. And without further ado, man, go ahead and give me a follow on X or Instagram right now. I'm at Jack_Sperry on X and at sparedog.football on IG. I post on there daily. We're going to be giving you guys extensive coverage. I got my final NFL mock draft coming out on Thursday morning. So make sure if you want that additional Steelers and NFL content every single day, I'm at Jack_Sperry on X and sparedog.football on IG. So let's get into today's top story here. And once again, I know some of you are annoyed that I keep talking about Brandon Aiyuk on this channel, but the rumors just don't go away here. And Aiyuk posted on his Instagram story last Friday that there's going to be quote-unquote fireworks on draft day this year, indicating that he might be traded this Thursday night. So this is what he had to say. So that's actually Jaden Daniels, a projected number 2 pick in the photo there. They're good friends. They trained during the offseason. And he said, brother said we got 6 days and it's fireworks. All right, so people are taking this to mean Aiyuk thinks he's going to get traded on draft night. Now, I'm just going to tell you this right now. I think a trade is unlikely when it comes to Brandon Aiyuk. John Lynch, the San Francisco 49ers GM, took the podium today for their pre-draft press conference and says he wants Aiyuk to be a 49er for life. All right, so I think it's really going to take a big-time deal in order to get Aiyuk in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. And I think what the Niners are going to want is something similar to the A.J. Brown trade a couple of seasons back, where the Tennessee Titans got a first-round pick, number 18 overall in that year's draft class, plus a third-round pick, number 101 overall, in exchange for A.J. Brown. And they're probably going to want something pretty commensurate here. Now, you can say Aiyuk's not as good as A.J. Brown, but Aiyuk is an all-pro wide receiver as we speak here today. And I think that's probably what's going to be the asking price for San Francisco here. I think they're going to want Pittsburgh's number 20 pick, no pick swap in round one. I think they're going to want a straight-up trade for that first-round pick that the Pittsburgh Steelers have, and they're going to want the second, third-round draft pick that the Steelers have at number 98. All right, so that's what I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to want to do, but I'm not willing to do that, all right? And the reason for that is that the Steelers right now have 4 very big needs that they need to address, I should say, before the end of the 2024 NFL draft. They need to get a wide receiver, they need to get a center, they need to get an offensive tackle, and they need a cornerback. And right now you have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds. If you give up 2 of those picks for a wide receiver, that means that one of these huge needs is not going to get addressed. And that's not something I'm willing to do if I am Steelers GM Omar Khan. I want to fill all of these needs, and I love Brandon Aiyuk as a player. I think he'd be a great fit here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I am not willing to overpay. This is what I would offer the San Francisco 49ers right now if I were Omar Khan. I'm not going to give them the first-round pick straight up in any situation. If they want number 20 overall, I'd be fine with that as long as we get the pick swap with their pick at number 31. We'll give them a second-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, and we will still throw in that third-round pick at number 98 overall. This would allow you to fill out the rest of your needs on your roster in this year's NFL draft while you're still trying to compete for a Super Bowl. But, that second-round pick next year I think is worth it, especially when you get a guy like Brandon Aiyuk in your building who is an all-pro and is an excellent talent that you're adding to your roster. So let me know down there in the comments section. Would you accept this trade if you were Steelers GM Omar Khan? All right, let me know. Would you give up two picks this year to get Brandon Aiyuk in your building? Type A for accept or D for decline. You guys know that I'm declining this offer, but let me know what you guys are doing for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time, but give me an A or a D down there in the comments. So now let's shift to Troy Fontenot out of Washington here, who I currently have as my number one draft target for the Pittsburgh Steelers, or at least reasonable draft target for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And according to Albert Breer, he has been flagged by some NFL teams for not checking out with his knee when it comes to the medical check. So there's some injury concerns with Fontenot here late in the game, and that could lead to Fontenot falling down to the Pittsburgh Steelers at number 20. Now, before this news broke, I would have told you Fontenot is probably going in the top 15 at the very latest. I think that he's going to be gone by pick number 20, and if the Steelers want him, they're going to have to trade up for him. But after this new revelation here, where some teams might be souring on Fontenot, especially in a very deep offensive tackle class, the chances that this guy, who I think would be a perfect fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is available at number 20 is increasingly more likely at this hour, which is definitely good news if you are a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And if he's there at number 20, I do think he's going to be the pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, coming up here, Omar Khan has said, and he keeps insisting, that the Steelers have options at the center position on the roster right now. Is he just bluffing? Are they going to take a center? Are they going to take a different kind of position? Are they just going to completely ignore the center position in the draft this year? I'm going to answer that question, let you know what I think here in just a second. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor at Game Time. Big shout out to Game Time because they are fastest and the easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. If you're someone like me, folks, that likes to get tickets last minute, Game Time is perfect for you because not only do they have the lowest price guarantee on all tickets to any event, but also they got flash deals right before your event starts. So the longer you wait to get your tickets, the lower the prices get. They also have a super easy to use interface. If you want to go see a Pittsburgh Pirates game, that's a really good idea. The Pirates are playing good baseball. PNC Park is a beautiful baseball stadium. I've been there myself. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't been there this year, now is the time to get that done with the best and fastest growing ticketing app in the United States, and that is Game Time. And also, guys, another great thing about Game Time is that it's the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with every purchase of a ticket that you make. See the view from your seat before you buy them so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive at the ballpark, the stadium, the arena, whatever the case may be. And tickets are also sent directly to your phone instead of your email to just add another layer of consistency and fan reliability to their platform. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app and create an account and use code CHATSPORTS. That's one word, all caps, for $20 off your purchase today. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So let's talk about the center position here because Steelers GM Omar Khan continues to insist that the Steelers have options at the center position and they don't feel, to quote Mike Tomlin, overly thirsty to get any position in this year's draft class. All right, so I don't, and a lot of Steelers fans listen to that and they're like, you know, Mike, I think we might be pretty thirsty for a center here. So some potential options here on the roster. Nate Herbig and James Daniels are the two guys that are kind of put out there the most, saying, you know, these guys could be a center for us. And then also Isaac Seumalo has experience, and then same thing with Spencer Anderson, but Anderson I don't really think is a starting option. Right now, I would say James Daniels is probably the best overall center option currently on the roster. But when it comes to the center position, my take on this is because you have guys like Daniels and Seumalo and Herbig that can play center, you don't have to take a center, but you better damn sure take an interior offensive lineman, all right? So if you're going to not draft a center, you better draft a guard to replace James Daniels as he moves from right guard over to center, all right? You cannot go throughout this draft and not take an interior lineman. It's absolutely a must for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think that they know that. They've met with a bunch of centers. They've met with a bunch of guards as well. So I don't think the Steelers are going to pigeonhole themselves here and say we have to take a center. I think they know they have James Daniels and some guys that they like at the center position already on the roster. So that gives them the leeway and the ability to take a guard if that's what's best for the team at the right time. Now, let's talk a little bit about a trade down scenario from ESPN. And Bill Barnwell, one of their lead NFL writers, has them trading down with the Dallas Cowboys, who currently hold the 24th overall pick. And I kind of like this trade down scenario for Pittsburgh because you're only moving down 4 spots, but you're picking up 2 additional draft picks here. A third rounder, pick number 37. That's definitely not right, I don't think. I think it's might be like 57 if it says 37, so I don't think it's 37. I think it's a different number. I think it's 57. I must have put in 3. But then the 5th round pick at number 174. These are 2 picks, that could be very valuable for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a lot of stuff that they would like to address, and I could absolutely see this trade potentially happening here because you're only moving down a couple of spots. If you want an offensive tackle, you can definitely still get one at number 24, but you also get 2 pretty darn good draft picks here to utilize later on in the draft that can end up being potential starters for you moving on down the line. Okay, so now let me know down there in the comments section, would you accept this trade down with the Dallas Cowboys? Give me a yes or give me a no down there in the comments section if you would accept this trade down from Dallas. Okay, now let's get into the 7-round mock draft reaction from Jordan Reed, one of their draft analysts there at ESPN, and he has some very interesting picks for the Pittsburgh Steelers here, and he's going to start things off here with a trade, okay? So he's going to have the Steelers move up in round 1 of the 2024 NFL Draft to number 16 with the Seattle Seahawks. So here is the details. You're moving up from 20 to 16, and you're giving up your first third-round pick this year at number 84. So this is kind of a hefty price to move up to number 16. They better get a good player here is all I'm going to say, because this trade kind of stinks, all right? If you're going to be going and getting an offensive lineman, I definitely think one's going to be there at number 20. And like I said earlier, guys, you got 4 big needs: wide receiver, center, corner, and wide receiver. If you trade these 2 picks, that limits your ability to address all 4 of those needs. So I don't like this trade whatsoever, and I hate it even more because of the player they have the Steelers taking, and it's J.C. Latham out of Alabama. I don't even have Latham in my top 20 prospects for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, and this guy has the Steelers trading up for him. Now, Latham, he's a behemoth of a man, all right? He's huge. He can affect the line of scrimmage. On paper, it seems like a decent fit for the Steelers, but I do not think he has the athletic chops to stick on the outside as a tackle in the NFL against all these great speed rushers with great bend. I think he's more of a guard in the National Football League, and the Steelers would be drafting him to be a right tackle, which I think he would fail at. So I would give this a D because, yes, you're addressing a need here with J.C. Latham, but I think that he would end up being a bust, at least as a right tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're giving up your 3rd-round draft capital to go out and get him. I think this is a terrible pick, D for me. Then in pick number 51 in round 2, Reed has the Steelers taking Roman Wilson, wide receiver out of Michigan. I like this one. I like Roman as a player, really good route runner, 4.39 speed, reliable hands, and he has an established relationship with Mike Tomlin. Wouldn't be surprised at all if Wilson's the pick at 51. Then in round 3, we address center here with Cedric Van Pran, and I'm going to give this an A. I think he's an excellent fit. He moves really well for a guy his size. Now, he needs to work a little bit on the play strength a little bit if he's going to be reliable one-on-one in pass protection, but I think he's going to be just fine transitioning into a starting role from day one. I like this pick a lot. Then in round 4, pick number 119, DJ James out of Auburn. I'll give this one a B. I like the physical talent that James brings to the table, but he's super small and he's 170 pounds. I'm just not sure if that kind of physical profile is going to work out in the league. Maybe he's more of a slot guy. Overall, good player, sticky in coverage, great athletic profile. So in round 4, I think this is a decent value. Then in round 6, pick number 178, Frank Lovett Sr., nose tackle out of Florida State. Now, I like Lovett as a nose tackle. I think that, he's never going to be like a true 3-down lineman, and he's not going to provide any value for you in terms of pass rush. But if you need a true run stuffer and you want Keanu Benton to kind of be that heir apparent at the 3 technique to Cam Hayward, Lovett Sr. is a pretty good pick here. I'll give it a B. And then a good pick here in round 6 at 195, Javon Solomon from Troy. Really a big fan of Solomon. He is a top 100 player on the Pro Football Focus big board. He led the FBS in sacks last year. He's got a great physical profile. And if you're getting this guy in round 6, that is an absolute steal. I think he's going to probably go late day 2, if not early day 3. If you're getting him this late in the draft, that's a steal to add to your edge rusher ranks. This one's an A+ for me. Now, be honest with me down there in the comments section. What do you grade this ESPN 7-round mock draft? Because I think outside of the first pick, a lot of these picks actually work out really well for the Steelers, but you do have that first pick where you're trading up for a guy that I wouldn't even take at number 20. Let me know, A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know how you're feeling down there in the comments. For me, I'll give it a B-, all right? I'm going to be salty about that J.C. Latham pick for a long time if this actually happens. I get that some people are higher on him because he's so big and he's got the physical tools that you look for, but I think he's a guard, and I think that the Steelers are set at guard right now, all right? So unless you're getting him to play guard, I'd still not like it because you're trading up for him. So, I don't love that move to trade up, but all the other picks are really, really good. So I'll give this a B- because as a whole, it is a good draft class that they have put together. That'll be it for today's show, guys. I appreciate you. If you want to get some more content from me leading up to the NFL draft here for the Steelers and the NFL as a whole, you can check me out at Jack_Sperry on X and at SpareDog.football on Instagram. And you can also catch me on our live coverage on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Every single pick live on the Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's going to be me and Tom Downey. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want live coverage of every single pick of this year's NFL draft, make sure you click that subscribe button right now for the Chat Sports main channel. And then also make sure you click the subscribe button to this channel because we got daily and extensive Steelers coverage 24/7, 365. We get a video out to you guys every single day. So if you want to become an expert on the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't wait. Click that subscribe button right now.